evening, twin!
I thought you were going to say Vietnam.
I was saying twins.
I like that test of my audio equipment.
This has been a test of the emergency audio broadcasting system.
We're at an actual emergency.
It would sound like this. Oh God, help us all.
My favorite audio test ever was in the video game for Halo 2. They had a surround sound test built into the special features DVD, in which a grunt from Halo would walk on stage and go, "Welcome to the DVD surround sound test." Da, 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 da.
Wow.
And would test, and he would test your speakers and be like, "Speaker over there, speaker over there, speaker behind you over there. Speaker behind you over there! Center speaker! And it was like the funniest thing.
It sounds a little terrifying.
It's almost like when you adjust your volume set or your dialogue volume in Borderlands 2, and it's just a midget yelling random things.
Oh, that's great. See, I never played Borderlands. I mean, I have played it. I didn't like it as much as everyone loves it.
It's so funny.
It's where it's at.
Speaking of Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3 coming to you now. Please sponsor our stream.
No.
So we can play Borderlands. So we can afford.
Oh, okay. Let's back on track.
Anyway, back on track. On another tangent. It would not be D&D if it weren't a tangent. So, picking up the thread of knowing where we were, who were we, what are we doing? We are Alignment Shift. Welcome to our show. I, as always, am the Dungeon Master Cal. With me today, I have Peggles.
Hello.
I have Kayla.
Hi.
I have the terrifying, the imposing Oldorix.
I like how you called the other two by their real name. You called me by my character name.
He called
To protect your identity.
I go back and forth. Okay, Steven? I can't make up my mind.
Well, I said hello. Well, Doris says, "Go away. Leave me alone."
I feel that.
You'll better have some emotional stuff to deal with.
The mystical, the magical Mackenzie.
Greetings.
The magical Mr. Mackenzie? Anyone like cats? No. Okay. George.
You don't get a title.
You're just George.
The great, the glamorous Georgie.
Nope. Nope.
Sounds like a dog.
And the astounding, awesome AJ Alex.
Why didn't I get a title?
Right?
You and George
Feel left
didn't
out
get
now.
The cool and cacophonous Kayla.
Okay, is everyone here? That's what we need to know.
Yes.
Everyone's
I'm
here.
still kind of offended.
Everyone's offended. I've done a great job. I'm gonna go cry now while I put myself on mute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kim.
That's our show tonight, everybody.
There's nothing. There's
See you
there's
next
nothing.
week,
Have
The
a good night.
demon, the devil, the charming bastard himself, Calicious.
guys.
That's
Calicious.
correct.
I would like to think I'm much more
Cowlick.
angelic than a demon. Although
Well, you certainly make me horny.
Oh!
and our stream just went from PG all the way up to 13
I
there.
don't think it
I don't think
Let's
our
be
show
honest.
ever-
Was it ever
I
PG?
tried to keep it there, but you guys.
Paula is PG.
She's
Well,
just too
that's-
innocent for her own good.
So Paula is
So
Captain
Paula is
America
key.
coming in
Or
saying
not.
language.
Gee.
Really.
Anyway, so picking up the threads of where we left off. Vera Anran has been making their way southward, attempting to reach Keru village in the quest to find a powerful magical artifact known as the Wraps of Dymak. Tiamak, Dymak, I haven't come to terms with what it's called. They had been
Decide
stolen a
right
long
now.
time ago from a platinum sanctuary and were sent down there to get them before the cult does. The cult of Lilette here has also been apparently in the area attempting to gain the favor of the Honyosai, but judging by their hung and prostrate bodies in the streets, they were unsuccessful. Nevertheless, they seem to have momentarily gained the friendship of the imposing military government of the Riffinmist jungle known as the Hon Yosai, a brutal dictatorship run by the Grand Poobah Nobushi Hon Yosai, and many other titles, who believes that Uldores is the prophesized child of light that will come to save the world. Much to everyone else's belief that Uldores is the child of dark, especially Lilette, who, using some form of magic, had a commune with Uldores in the bedroom of Jack Jack Jabbit Abba Wabbit Jabbit Jack, who she who several times tried to convince Uldores to change from his dark ways, to come to the light. It's not too late for you. Further cementing that she believed him to be the child of dark and herself to be the child of light. Nevertheless, the party continues their way southward under the instruction from Nobushi Hanyosai to convince the high priest of Keru village to what's the word I'm looking for here? Not annex. What's the opposite of annex?
Annex?
I know what you're talking about. Try to absorb them.
Yes, absorb
Yes.
them into
Colonize.
the greater... Colonize.
Assimilate.
Assimilate, there we go.
That's
Very
the
good.
one.
Assimilate Keru village into the greater Honyosai Empire. There are 6 great cities in the Riffinmist jungle. 5 of them have bent their knee to the Honyosai, and Keru village is the last remaining bastion of rebellion against the Empire.
Kinda, sort of.
Right, he's in Star Wars.
All right,
I know
look,
that.
it's been on. So, heading southward in the middle of the night, fleeing the city as they kind of realize what a dictatorship looks like after dark, when a no longer licensed citizen was found in the streets and was promptly abducted and dragged through a puddle to heavens know where. The party left, and in the dark of the jungle were ambushed by 4 gargantuan toads that swallowed our sweet Sapala, nearly swallowed our paladin, and were promptly defeated. Actually, I believe they succeeded in swallowing the wizard too, who just teleported out of there.
Nope. I was halfway.
Almost.
Oh, halfway in.
They never
able to
could
grab me
catch
and
me.
start dragging me.
So,
They swallowed me because I was sweet.
we currently stand with Uldores covered in red and brown ichor, and Kayla or Sapala covered in saliva and digestive juices, and everyone breathing heavily after the battle has finished in the dark of the Riffinmist jungle.
I'm pretty sure me and Xavier are going around using prestidigitation to clean our comrades.
Thank you.
Yes, we are. Especially
Okay.
And especially you guys.
Yeah, this was not a. It was a poor choice.
Doris, you got entrails on you.
Sorry about that.
No, here,
Just-
let me get that for you.
Get it. He opens like
You
one
get the
eye
front,
and
I
looks
got the
down.
back.
Keep your mouth closed. Ooh.
Am I mad? Okay.
How?
Yes.
You remember how Bernie pulled out a chunk of my hair? How big was the chunk?
I was hoping you'd forget.
Oh, God.
It
Caleb
didn't
never
go all the way
forgets.
down to the roots. It seemed to have snapped partway up your very long hair, probably at about bang height. But from where it falls, he's got a good at least 2 feet of hair clenched in his fist, and you have what looks to be the start of a bang on the left side of your forehead.
Having just watched Into the Spider-Verse, this is
I have a question.
Yes,
Can mending be used to fix that?
you can.
Has to be non-living.
Yeah, no, because
It's technically
Well,
hair
hair
is
is
dead
technically
skin.
I'm gonna say
Technically,
no.
hair is dead.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I mean,
Much the
well,
same way as you could use mending to put a
mean-
skull back together.
is it straight from the skull, or are there pieces torn from other hair follicles?
It's torn below the skull. It's not from her head. It ripped the hair.
So then mending technically could do it?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it will not.
Okay.
Not
The DM
anymore.
has spoken.
You shall not mend the hair.
Okay, actually, you know what? I will retract that. Mending is a cantrip.
Yes.
You could use mending. It would take time, and you could do it one strand at a time, and you would have to match the hair to the strand that had been broken, because you could not mend it to something that it wasn't originally broken from.
I don't have the patience for that.
I think it's just time for Sipala to get really edgy.
I disagree.
I did not ask you, Elena.
Oh,
But okay.
that's that edge. That's that edge you were looking
Peggy
for.
sass, but okay.
It's really the same thing.
Sometimes.
Kind of.
I think we all know it.
This is the first time my hair has ever been cut.
It
Well,
was
I mean,
rip.
it's more of a rip, but
I'm
Not
trying
making
to
it
make
better.
it sound nice.
I don't think this was a discussion of the method of the hair loss.
Just saying.
it will grow back, Sipala.
See, Paula just throws this terrifyingly evil eye at Bernie
She hates
and then
it
just
now.
Not
starts
even making
walking.
eye contact. I am keeping a 30-foot distance between me and her.
I'm gonna come up, Bernie. Give me the hair.
I dropped it over there.
Oh.
In the swamp.
Wow.
Is it still kind of in a cluster?
Yes.
It's very knotted. It's currently covered in the frog digestive juices, but
Clean it up.
it looks like what you pull out of the drain in a sink
Ew.
or a shower.
Well, good thing I can clean it up.
Well, not only this the texture of it, but the knottedness of it with how it was pulled and then just dropped by Glaive. It tangled.
Bernie, don't you dare put that on Glaive.
I apologize, Glaive.
They would have done something like this to Sipala.
Not on purpose.
Okay, I think somebody else should take the lead. Obviously, I wasn't keeping a very good eye out. I'm sorry.
I'll do it.
I'll be in the back.
I think I will too.
I guess I'll be in the middle.
Okay.
As well.
So Sipala, I would like. Are we continuing through the night toward Keru village?
But what time is it?
At this point, about midnight.
Ooh.
Should I bunk down here?
Actually, we should probably rest.
We can throw up the bubble.
I think we should move a little bit farther away from these frogs, but sure.
Further away from
Yes.
In case
Obviously,
I'd
there's
rather
some
as well.
predators
I mean,
want an easy meal.
obviously, we would not want to sleep near their carcasses.
Okay, Sipala, make a survival check.
Aye, Capitan.
On, baguette.
Rawr.
Okay, okay.
What's even going on right now?
Oh. We're playing D&D.
Going with it.
It's D&D!
D&D.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Ooh, 26.
26.
Jeez.
Well,
As
damn.
you are,
I rolled a 19.
as you kind of lead the party around trying to find a good spot to make the camp in the middle of this swampy rainforest, your first spot that you picked out, you see this large stalk protruding from the ground with a about 10 or 15 foot radius around it. Your first instinct is, what a wonderful spot for a camp. Above three beautiful flowers, each of a different color head, a red, a yellow, and orange blossom, each shimmering in the light cast by Xavier's mage light. But as you take a step forward, you also notice slight spores hovering in the air around, and you put out your hands and stop everyone from stepping closer to this flower, realizing it's probably toxic. So moving a little bit further into the jungle, you find a second clearing in which looks mostly clear. You do not see any large flowers in the area or spores in the atmosphere. And it looks like a nice spot to set up camp.
Good eye, Sipala. I probably would not have seen that.
It's okay, Laura.
It's been a long day for everyone.
Okay, so everyone sets up camp?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's taking the first watch?
The bubble is set up. I'll be doing first watch.
Me too.
So me and Sapala.
I think Elena will want to stay watch with your Dolores. So whichever watch he ends up taking, she'll take.
Damn, I need some popcorn.
I got some pinnacle right here.
Oh my god,
All right,
yeah, ridiculous.
who was first watch again?
Me and Sapala.
All right, I would like a perception check with advantage from one of you.
You have dark vision, so go ahead.
Okay.
Guys, look at my dice.
No.
One just fell out.
18.
18. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Oh, that is
Uh-huh.
good.
Is that a good or a bad ooh?
You're stressing
That sounds
people
like a
out.
bad.
So,
Another unicorn.
a little while.
Oh, unicorn.
Okay. I'm excited.
Unicorn.
No. Hang on.
You're all going to die.
Hold
Sweet.
on. I need to get to the right page
Yay.
here. So,
Is it an owlbear
and
couplet?
about 2 hours pass into your shift. As the two of you stare into the night, the sounds of the rainforest terrifying you to your bones as the entire jungle sounds alive with predators and prey going through their dances through the night of survival. When as you're sitting, Sapala, you see inside the bubble there's a slight indentation in the ground. And as you stand on your watch, you kind of fiddle with it, just kind of mindlessly play with this indent. And as your fingers trace it, you realize the small hole pressed into the dirt matches a second one, about half a foot away, and then a third one to the right. And you look at this imprint, and as your eyes trail back to the bigger picture, you realize that this is a footprint that your eyes are trailing. And as you glance around your entire party, you see more of these three-toed footprints about the size of a small end table around the area. And you realize something else has been here before and frequently, enough to leave many footprints over many days. And as you watch one of them, which is filled with water, you see a ripple.
It's Jurassic Park.
Yes.
And then another. You begin to hear the deep thump of footsteps approaching.
Savior.
Your eyes go up through the clear, shielded area that your party is sleeping, and you see through the dark 2 yellow eyes. And you hear a deep, guttural. As outside the bubble, a strange, 20-foot-tall reptilian monster begins to circle around this shining portal, or shining bubble on the ground. Poof, poof. Each step sending tremors through your entire body. Its head comes up against the edge of the bubble, and you hear this as it slightly nudges. Nothing moves. The portal shimmers. You hear it give a disgruntled snort. It takes 3 steps away and lays down on the ground. You have set up camp inside a Tyrannosaurus nest.
Oh my gosh. I want to make it my friend.
Naturally.
Also, look at this too. You can now turn into a T-Rex.
Yeah.
The challenge rating for it.
I can be like a dinosaur.
I'm sorry to like poo-poo on the party. No,
It's a beast.
its challenge rating is too high.
No, well, not now, but she has seen it to be able to turn.
Well, not higher than possible.
At level 20, she cannot meet the CR requirements. It is that she can do.
I don't think you need to have seen it
T-Rex
for that.
is 1 CR too high.
Yeah, it's CR8.
So, Kayla, you need to get polymorph.
Oh, so she needs to get to level 22.
I'm also trying to decide whether or not I should try and make it my friend.
Give it a flower.
I mean,
That's
you're
not
already
gonna
almost
work.
eaten once. What's another time?
Right.
She agrees. Right? Yeah.
You've been eaten once, you've been eaten
Hey,
1,000 times.
I've been in a belly of a creature twice now, okay?
You got eaten by a demon.
The worm and then a toad, okay?
It's because you're a snack.
I'm more than a snack. I'm a whole 4-course meal. Back off.
She's got Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh.
Thank you very
Elena was
much.
murdered in her sleep that night. Tiny footprints were found around the body.
This is
All right, that just reminds me of a joke I have to tell you guys. We were watching Age of Ultron last night, speaking of killing people in their sleep. And there's a part where Hawkeye pulls his bow toward Quicksilver, and he's like, "No one would know. No one would know." And I turned to my wife and I said, "Yeah, no one would know. Who shot this guy with an arrow?"
Yeah, right. There was a blooper for that where they're both sitting on the transport at the end. He looks over, puts his hand over his mouth and nose, and he just starts squirming on the
I
ground.
love that blooper.
I have not seen that.
It's pretty funny.
Back to the game, guys. Back to the game.
Anyway,
It's
back to the
obviously
game. So,
Katniss.
as you're sitting there, the unsettling sound of its breathing just
This is a big creature.
Can I make it my friend?
It had no.
Do it.
Let's wait till morning.
Fine.
Oh my gosh.
Should we just ignore it?
I'm just wondering if anybody else woke up from it. Boom, boom, boom.
everyone make a perception check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
That's when Vale succeeds.
You're
That's right.
asleep.
My
You're
favorite
asleep.
terrain.
Disadvantage.
Oh. I was like, yeah, an 18. Oh, right, disadvantage. 3.
9?
So 10. 10.
Anyone above 15?
Takes a 15.
I got a 15.
Okay. So at 15, okay, and you want above 12.
I'm sorry, I kicked out there for a second. What are we rolling for?
Seeing if you woke
Wake
up
up
during
the
the T-Rex.
Okay, DM answer me, please.
Waking up during the T-Rex walking up.
Okay. Oh, I'm good.
Okay. So anyone that was above a 12, as you are sleeping, you feel the ground around you begin to vibrate gently. And though some of you are scoffing at a DC, while you are asleep, vibrations aren't necessarily something you wake up to. So I guess Elena is the only one then that wakes up. Elena, your eyes open, and as you look out through the portal, trying to still groggy from being asleep for only about 2 hours, your eyes focus in on the small orange gem outside, and as your eyes focus, you realize there's this slitted pupil staring at you through the shield, and it kind of you feel your heart just jump as you see the rows and rows of teeth that are lined beneath this eye.
Guys, do you all see that?
As a matter of fact, Elena, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
No, Mom, I don't want to use scale polish.
Wait, what did you say?
No, Mom, I don't want to use scale polish. Oh my god.
Well, I got a natural 20.
Okay, so you see this terrifying monster, and your first instinct is to scream, and you very quickly, using your own hands, stifle your mouth shut, as not even the smallest peep makes it out of your mouth.
Is that what I think that is?
Yes.
Those are frightening creatures. Even though the only one I've ever seen in real life was Scanlan Shorthalt as a T-Rex, they're still frightening.
I can always make it my friend.
I mean,
Just like,
you could try.
I mean, it would be pretty badass to have a pet T-Rex, but
right?
just the notion of it trying to bite off our faces. Well, probably bite off more than that, but
I'm gonna go back to sleep now.
yeah, you do.
Seriously?
Don't worry, you're safe.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I can drop the bubble if you want.
No.
That's what I thought.
I'm asleep.
Okay.
Okay. How long is your shift going for?
2 hours.
All right, so at the end of your shift there,
Yeah.
those are the 2 hours. Who's going to take over the watch?
Uldoris probably would have a hand.
Just Elena probably would go when Yildoris went.
All right, Elena and Eldoris.
Can
Then.
I
Sapala,
only
you
wake
can
Hold up.
Sapala, you can stay awake if you want to.
I just never mind.
Initiate friendship.
No, what do you want
She
to do?
wants to do friendship.
I wanted to do something before our shift was over.
Sure. So
But
right
if
before
it's
your
over-
shift ends, we'll go ahead and say just before they get up for their shift. What would you like to do?
I would like to
Rage.
yeah, no. I would like to cast Scry.
Okay. You'd like to step outside the bubble?
Yeah, you have
No.
the bubble.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, stupid T-Rex. Never mind.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. So, actually, Sapal, I think I know what you were doing. Let's skip that this week.
Okay.
If it is what I think you were doing, is it what I think you were doing?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get that ready.
Psychic.
Okay. Never
Sorry.
mind then.
So, end of your shift, Sapala and Xavier, you go to bed, and Elena and Oldores take off the shift. I would like a perception check from one of you with advantage.
Me or you?
Go for it. Mine haven't been good lately.
Well, that was a natural 19 with my perception of an 8.
Is that with
Okay.
advantage?
No, that was not with advantage.
Natural 20.
That was a natural 18
Mhm.
with 8.
Still very good rolls. So, about an hour and a half passes in your shift as well as you're staring wide-eyed at this great scaly beast. You see now the scales give way to feathers that crest the back of its head, glinting in what little light there is. And though your dark vision is gray, you can kind of make out this almost rainbow pattern of feathers that adorn the back of its head, going down into a beautiful crest along its shoulders. And as you're watching this, you see the ripple of the wind cascade over these feathers, giving an iridescent sheen in the moonlight. And as you're admiring that, you also feel another as a much heavier footstep comes through the jungle. You watch as the Tyrannosaurus lifts its head and careens it over its shoulder behind, and you watch as a second Tyrannosaurus comes stepping into the clearing. In its jaws, you see a horse, completely limp and crimson blood dripping onto the jungle floor. As this larger Tyrannosaurus steps forward, dropping the horse on the ground between the two of them. Mother has come home from the hunt. And you two watch in horror and strange curiosity as these two massive carnivores begin tearing apart this horse carcass.
It's like the scene in Jurassic Park where the kid's like, so much blood.
Yeah.
And then he gets grabbed by the collar and dragged along.
But that takes up the rest of your shift. As the hour comes to an end, who's waking up next?
I was going to ask you Lewis how he was doing. But
Oh,
never
yeah,
mind.
go ahead. No, go ahead. You can have a conversation while it's going on.
No!
Go ahead.
It's real awkward now.
I have never thought I would see something like this. I don't feel safe here.
Me and you both.
I kind of want to go back to Whitestone.
Same. Although, I don't know how would you feel after what your sister told you.
Elena, I'm not going to lie.
I wouldn't expect you to.
I'm not stupid. Your father and I had words of sorts. And that was the first time in a while I had been trapped by anything. Strange contraption he has.
What contraption?
He said the word manners, and I was chained against the wall somehow.
DM, do I know about this contraption?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just, that, yes. Why did he use that on you?
Don't know. It was the first night that I had met him. He had asked me to help him with something in his office or something. But he wound up having more of a conversation with my shadow than with me.
He had a conversation with your shadow.
Yes, he kept asking questions, and well, apparently he was getting his answers. Of course, I couldn't see because I was frozen.
Yes.
Your father's an ass.
He can be, but I know a lot of it is to protect his family or protect Taldore. My father has had a interesting and dark past. But I kind of wanted to talk about what your sister told you about my parents.
Well, the details are still a little foggy. I try to remember as little of it as I can. I choose to remember my mother. She was the last one that spoke to me. But I do remember seeing my father holding back somebody, and I do remember hearing some popping noise. It was very loud. And then, my mother, I just remember seeing arrows in her back. I'm assuming that was from your mother.
Yeah, it was. I've known for a while now what has happened, and I did not know how to approach it.
So it's and you can see like Uldoris is starting, like his hands are starting to shake, and like he starts clenching his fists. So it's okay for you to keep secrets when it comes to everyone else's family, but when it comes to yours, you demand to know, and you deserve to know.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I did not. I wanted to tell you, but how
But
do you
you
tell?
didn't. You didn't know how I would react.
I didn't know if you wanted. I didn't know. Those are my parents, and I know that they did that. You could see that Elena's like she doesn't know how to. This is one of her less eloquent times, even though she doesn't have many of those. This is where she can't come up with words, unlike the usual. I didn't know how, first off, to tell a friend that your parents are the reason that his are not alive anymore. And I did not know if you would want to go after my parents or harm them in any way. I mean, I would want to harm those who hurt my family. I just didn't know. And I wanted to tell you.
Well, now I know.
I'm sorry, Yildiris. They also told me why they were there, and they had some information about a cult, not a cult, that, and then things went wrong. I don't know the exact details. They didn't tell me everything. But you might want to speak to them if you want to. I'm sure that they would speak to you about it.
Well, I guess I will have to wait and see. Yeah. I'm it's all still a lot to take in.
Just know that they would not have killed innocents if they had known, if things hadn't turned, I guess, sour. They wouldn't have killed innocents on purpose.
Oh, right. And what would they have done if they had found me instead of my so-called sister?
I don't know. Hopefully treat you as well as they treated her. I mean, they sent her off to get an education and to train. But I don't know what they would have done.
Well,
Uldoris, you do remember when she says that Percy's words ringing in your mind of "I'm so sorry."
We'll have to see. Right now, I don't know how to feel about anything.
I understand.
And you do not get a free pass anymore on demanding answers.
I'm
But
trying to do
sometimes-
better. I'm trying to do
sometime-
better.
Sometimes people don't know how to give you what you want to know. And you have to be okay with that.
I'm learning.
I guess time will tell with that too. And then in the morning we have to figure out what we're doing with this thing. But I don't want to think about it anymore.
See, Paula wanted to make friends with it.
She can have at it. Has too many teeth for my liking. And Uldoris eventually, he gets really quiet and eventually just rolls over and goes to sleep.
All right, the rest of your shift goes as planned in the last, or the next group. Who's next? I think Ananduil is going to take a shift here, and
It's gonna
Please.
be Valen Underhill.
No.
Yeah.
Not like this.
who?
Whoa.
I'm so
Not like this.
excited.
Valen and Ananduil.
Then again, there's a T-Rex.
All right, so as the two of you wake up, Vale, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I don't get frightened.
Oh, all right.
I mean, I tell them about the T-Rex creatures.
Oh, okay.
I
Good.
inform them,
I
hey,
can take an action to become unfrightened.
wow.
Okay, but I'd like you to make the throw anyway.
It's just
Okay.
like,
18.
Okay, Peggy fortunately increased the DC for you guys though too. So
Of course.
as
Well, I informed you of it.
as you wake
That's
up,
why.
Elena quietly, hey, don't panic, but there's a giant toothy monster. Ananduil kind of rolls over. There's a what? And she goes to scream, and Elena puts her hands over her mouth, and you kind of hear the stifled.
You know, it's not the first time I've woken up hearing that.
You pull your hands away from her, eventually, and her mouth just agape, staring at these two monstrous killing machines, and she watches as fresh blood is trickling from their teeth and dripping on the rainforest floor.
I was about to say they're quite friendly, but
There is no carcass remaining of the horse that had been there. All there is just a red stain in a 15-foot radius around where it had been laid. So, Vale, let's have you do a perception check with advantage, just so I'm not rolling.
alright. This will go well. Well, it's at advantage, so progress. Okay.
Is it really? Because that's not your favorite terrain.
I know. But it's not a bad thing either. 21.
Oh, that's good.
21.
You did good.
All right. So
I know.
you
Proud
sit
of you.
you sit vigilantly watching over the forest, and partway through, Ananduil kind of comes up and sits down next to you, and you're taken aback for a moment as she sits down. You notice that she's turned blue. As she sits down next to you, her eyes never leaving the T-Rexes, and she just kind of sits down or whatever you are sitting on that you have made for the thing, and she just kind of
Bedroll.
eventually trailing off addresses you. So, Vale, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a report, Singorn, that cataloged you and, recorded that you entered the city, and I saw your last name.
His name.
Arjun, right?
I'm trying to remember if I gave my last name.
You didn't, but they
Okay.
they figured it out. You you come up with that name?
No.
That's an old elven name. That's a proud elven house, and well, You're not exactly a proud elf, are you?
Notice that, had you?
I've never really cared for the politics of race segregation, but when a half-elf walks into a city and has the name of a pure-blood family, one's got to ask the questions. They say the Argent line's dead. They have shrines in the memory ward to the Argent line.
That's the tree with all the
Yep.
stuff, right? Mm.
Who was your parent that had the name?
I almost want her to roll persuasion.
I'll roll it. Okay, that's that. And now I need to find out what her her plus is. Hang on. Gotta open it.
-6.
There we go. You. Hang on. I'm getting there. Hold on. I'm fat. Leave me alone.
You want the furthest thing from fat.
17.
Sure. My mother was Avaris Ardrin.
I'm sorry. I don't know her name. But that's a good house.
By whose standards?
By their standards. You know, we're not too different, you and I.
Oh yeah?
Elves are weird.
Agreed.
If you're pureborn, you're perfect. If you're half, you're imperfect. I am born of the Feywild. I'm part elf, part pure Fey. They treat me like a joke. Like the child you don't want to admit is better than you, so you constantly put it down. Make it feel like it's worthless, because if you really admitted that there was potential, then what good is being pure? Anyway, you should bear your family name with pride. They're lucky to have you. I have no family. I have no family name. I'm just a non-dual.
You could go by a non-dual Fey. Just rub it in their smug faces.
I'm not brave enough. Was.
Not yet.
A non-dual Fey. And you watch as her eyes just kind of trail off, still gazing at the Tyrannosauruses, but you swear in the darkness you can see her blue skin kind of twinging toward that green again as she whispers the phrase a non-dual Fey to herself. I need to write this down. So the rest of your shift goes as well as staring at two colossal killing machines can go, who Yes.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say who's gonna take the last 2 hours.
Oh, I thought this was last shift.
Oh well, you guys said that the shifts are 2 hours, so 2, 4, 6,
I
8.
said they took 2 for the first one because he's a lazy wizard.
Right. So you're gonna take the last couple. All right. So, as the two of you continue having your conversation, and she trails off into silence. Where the hell am I gonna write this? Yeah.
I typically tend to take the last shifts
Gotcha.
because that equates to getting up early, so I can do my morning stuff.
I've always been a
Meditations.
morning person.
Meditation.
Morning.
I also, Xavier also wants to wake up a little bit early, like maybe 30 minutes before the bubble drops.
Okay, make a intelligence check, or no, make a wisdom check.
Man, a lot of melancholy conversations tonight.
This is straight wisdom check.
Straight wisdom check.
Shut up, dog.
I was expecting to have a ridiculous time with Bernie.
I was expecting just this,
11?
happy-go-lucky Anduel.
You try your best to wake yourself up a half hour before the bubble drops. However, morning grogginess takes you, and you only wake up just a few minutes before it drops as Ananduil and Vale begin waking the rest of the party.
I start packing quickly, like fudge.
I go through a few of my spells. Within like a minute, go through my spells. Okay. I memorize the spells I want for the day. I look at everything.
Speed read.
Okay.
Speed read.
Okay.
Oh, we getting the F out of here?
As most of you see, we have Bernie's cousins over there.
Oh.
Wow.
This is my
I don't.
I was thinking the same thing.
Too soon.
I can make 2 more of you fly, give you flight to get away from them faster if we did not want to confront anymore.
Well, we don't want to confront them at all.
Okay.
I
fine.
can change into a bird.
All right, and I can fly by myself without the magic.
Without magic.
So, we still have Laura, Ananduel, me, Vale, and Yoldoris.
And Laura.
Flutter. And yeah, I said Laura.
Laura, Nanduel, Doris, and Bernie.
The rest of us.
I could just make a horse.
Ananduil goes, I can be kind of quiet.
I mean, I also can be super stealthy,
are
so
they,
I'm gonna go stealth.
Are the T-Rexes still asleep?
They are currently appear to be asleep.
I'm gonna go stealthy. I'm gonna come in the night.
Suddenly
Rolls.
realizing this is something I may not be faster than.
Alternatively, I could surround them in fire as a make a
I don't think fire is really going to do much.
Yeah.
It'll help.
It'll make Xavier better.
Might light the forest on fire.
31.
Okay.
Jeez.
I'm also gonna stealth.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not what?
I rolled a 31. What did you roll?
No, I heard the ooh,
Oh.
which made me nervous. I'm not confident in my ability to run faster than it.
Hey, DM,
Yes.
I have a question about my mantle.
I have an answer.
Okay, I hope so. The shadow step that I have,
Yes.
is it just me, or can I put my hands on someone and take them with me?
You can certainly try.
Can't wait till I've passed without a trace.
You don't know. It didn't say on the card that that what's his name gave, that Gilmore gave you, and you don't know.
Also, Sapala, if you wanted, so you could still cast magic in case they do catch up to us, you could ride on my back while I fly up in the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
You heard you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard I.
I said eight.
Oh.
Okay.
I
I thought you were I thought you said I.
Okay. So we have Bernie. What are you doing?
I'm going to be making my own horse with summon horse.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
Oh.
enough horses?
Oh shit! How do you stealth on a horse?
Yeah,
You
don't.
Oh.
No, I'm
Hey.
just going to ride like a dragon out of hell.
Yeah, but we have horses.
did yeah, but Can I do a quick check and see? Do any of those horses? Oh, there was nothing left. There was nothing left, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Weren't our horses, right?
Actually, make an investigation check.
Glaive, I could also give you a head start about 500 feet. Get you away from them.
Bernie.
Okay, but where are we going? Bernie, what?
South.
Well, we're going
10.
south, so
Thought he said glaive.
You hear the darkness say, south.
I have a 10.
No, you do not find anything left over. You do see what appears to be like the strips of flesh laying about.
There's
That's
no
weird.
leather
Not that you can
saddles
discern.
or anything.
Not that you can
Breakfast?
discern.
Yeah, I'll do that 500-foot thing.
okay. So Sapala, if you want, fly that way, and I'll fly about that way 500 feet because I can only take one person with me. With that, and then
So I am flying?
yes, turn into a small bird, then you can like land on my shoulder and turn back or something like that.
Okay.
And I'll teleport Bernie away.
Ananduil kind of chimes in. Are we just leaving the other horses?
I don't know.
I thought they were all dead.
Do we
My
see our
horse is
horses anywhere?
fine.
She looks around. There are no horses left.
Oh, well, shit, who cares then?
I think they took off.
Damn, those were expensive.
Can you?
Well,
do you-
they're dinosaur food now,
Can
so.
you like summon a creature like you did before?
Are you talking to me or Anandul?
A non-duel. Or you summoned a deer.
I don't. Oh, no, that was her actual mount she was on. It wasn't summoned.
Oh, okay.
Sudden, you see suddenly she goes from green to blue, and you just hear her. My dear.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh,
Had
God,
to point
we've-
it out.
I make Beak poof on her shoulder.
She does not seem to change.
Oh.
Thousand
Oh,
yards
your best
there.
friend died. Here's a crow.
Excuse you.
An owl.
Owl, and I
thank
have
you.
a raven.
Excuse you. I don't give a shit.
I don't see why you would. That's not your problem.
Ah, a small avian creature.
All right, so you are transporting Glaive 500 feet away.
Yeah,
Sapala
500 feet
is-
south from the way you were going.
How are you doing that?
Dimension door.
Okay, on his horse.
No, we don't.
Okay, I gotcha.
He can send a source if they don't follow us.
All right, so
Laura and
those.
non-duel, I don't know.
Eldoris, you can be sneaky.
All right.
Eldoris?
Yeah,
Eldora-
Elena's just in the shadows.
Eldoris is gone. Everyone looks around to see Elena, who's seemingly gone as well. Vale, you right?
I did alright. I rolled pretty bad.
He rolled
What'd
a
you get?
20.
What'd you get?
I
20.
got 20.
Right. You sneak into the shadows. Everyone begins making their way
It's pretty bad.
away
Wow.
from the T-Rexes, and you
Plus
Uh,
14.
you
I
glance
know.
you glance back a few paces away toward Ananduil and Laura, who are both Laura in her full plate mail, and
Oh, God.
Ananduil
Oh, God.
just right next to her, and you see the wince on Ananduil's face as every step you just hear.
God dang it. Heckin' heck.
It's also when I wish I had silence.
And
I
then
wish I'd passed
For real.
that phrase.
Ananduil kind of turns to like try to help move Laura forward, and as she takes a step in the mud, she didn't see there was a small branch, and
Am I
you just
ready an
Of
arrow?
course.
and you hear
Always a
through,
branch.
through the woods the sickening as the branch snaps, and the breathing of the Tyrannosaurus is suddenly.
Can I ready an arrow?
So I've already teleported.
He's gone.
I tapped Sapala. Bird.
We should have tied their legs together.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have woken them up at all.
Yeah.
They can't use their arms to stand up.
One of the beasts begins to stand and lets out this roar that wakes the other one. Ananduil and Laura look at each other, look back, and begin to run. What is everyone doing?
Do I have?
I want to shoot.
All right, actually, let me see here. I need initiative. I need initiative, and I need to roll it for myself.
Can I say it?
I
Can I say
didn't want to interrupt anybody.
Yeah,
But
I was trying to ready an arrow while they were doing that.
I had a
All right.
spell that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to interrupt.
It was well, Elena. Let me make a dexterity check real quick. Or actually, no. Yeah, let's go with initiative here real quick. Everyone, roll an ish. Oh, that'll be helpful.
21.
All right, that will be helpful. Okay. Oh, that will not be helpful. And that's good. Okay.
This is fine.
23.
All right. Let me do this the way that we usually do. So 25 to 20.
I got a 21.
You sounded upset about the
Xavier,
23.
Elena. Okay. 20 to 15.
15.
17.
I rolled pretty bad on that too.
Counting class.
15 to 10.
Uldoris has a 12.
Oh, I had a 16. I'm sorry.
It's Paula, then Eldores. Did I miss someone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're good. All right. So, and due to the way the initiative came out here, yes, I will allow a surprise round as you turn around and watch as they're very slowly getting up. They're still on the ground and they're using their first action to stand. I will allow, starting at Xavier, you may do what you would like.
I look at Sapala, turn into a bird, and I'm going to reach over and grab Bernie. You ready? I don't even give him time to answer. We poof 5 feet away.
Okay. Next is Ellie. Anna.
Me? Okay, so I want to
With my-
cast.
with my movement when I finish teleporting, 500. No, not 500 feet. 30 feet up.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to cast Hail of Thorns
Okay.
at level 2.
They haven't seen
Okay.
us yet.
Now that's a dexterity check, correct?
On them it is. They have to do. Let's see, the target, in addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I got a 14 and a 2.
Okay. 14. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out what's my numbers. 16, so they both fail.
Okay, and did you roll to hit?
No, but I need to. That's 17 plus 9.
That'll hit.
So. Okay, that's 4 piercing for that one. And then I get 2d10. That's 12. Oh no, I rolled a d12. I did not roll a d10.
Oh, I was mixing this up with Bramble Shot.
No, it's not Bramble Shot.
Told you we should have stole Fenthras.
And that's 9 more damage with
To
the
both
Hail
of
of
them,
Thorns.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I attacked the big one, but then.
Yeah. Okay. So, Benedictus, you are now 30 feet up in the air.
No, he's not 30. He's just 50 feet away, 500 feet away.
No, we
I
teleported
thought-
500 feet away, and I used my 30 feet up.
Oh, I see.
I'm
Okay.
not
So, Bernie,
keeping
you're
up, I guess.
Bernie, you're 500 feet away. Are you doing anything?
I have nothing I can do except finish summoning a horse.
Okay.
I can do the long version or the short version, I think. I don't know. Let's look it up.
All right. While you're looking that up, I'm going to go to Vale.
Sapala's ahead of me. You had 16, right?
I thought you had 17.
I had 15.
Oh, I got it backwards. All right, Sapala, your turn.
Okay, so where am I again? I don't
Uh,
have a computer right now. I'm sorry.
You are. I don't have it up on the screen actually.
It takes 10 minutes.
I didn't intend this to be a comment thing, so I don't have things ready for it. So, you're probably about 30 feet from the T-Rexes at the moment, where Xavier had been. So, actually, no.
Am I a bird?
Xavier would have been right by them because that's where the camp was. So you're actually probably about 5 or 10 feet from them.
Am I a bird?
You are not. He told you to turn into a bird, but you are not currently.
Okay. Well, this is great. So. Heck and heck, Laura.
That'll be a 10-minute spell.
So I don't think you can wait 100 rounds.
You got time.
I'm going to call lightning. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Sorry. I don't know. It's really hard not being able to see.
Sorry, Lightning, wrong number. We don't have a
There
battle
is
map.
a map.
I know, but it's hard. Never mind. Just stick with me.
I mean, you can call lightning. We are outside.
Yes, I can. But if anybody is within a certain range of it, I don't want to do it.
So
I think we're all.
I think you're good right now.
Do know that when you cast that, you can choose a point and have it hit to where it won't hit anybody you know. Because it picks a point of a 5-foot square to hit, and creatures within a 5-foot radius of that square.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
So
Okay,
it
then I'm
casts
doing
above
that.
us, but it.
I'm gonna call lightning.
Okay. I believe they have to make a dexterity saving.
Yes.
That'll be a 2 and a 12. They both fail.
Yes. And so I need to roll 3d10.
Why?
And now I can't remember which one is the 3d10. My brain. Okay. $21.
21 points of damage?
Yes.
To both of them. All right. Oh, I just had a weird sense of deja vu. I don't know why. I've never had T-Rexes in a game before. So I don't know why I had that.
have.
All right. That sounded good.
I've had T-Rex with
I
Nazis
had them,
riding
they were
them.
always on my side.
So Sapala, you point your flower up toward the sky, and the clouds darken above the tree canopy, and just between the branches, this arcing blue bolt crashes into the ground, sending dirt. It arcs up into the legs of the Tyrannosaurus as they're standing. They howl in pain. You hear it echoing off the trees around you, causing this vibration deep in your chest. Now it is Vale's turn.
So there's no one like right up next to these things.
Sapala, Vale, and Pav. You're close-ish, probably within 20 feet, along with
Okay.
Elena, who's probably within 20 feet. But Sapala and Ananduil and Laura are all probably within 10 feet.
Within what?
10 feet.
Oh, we were really close.
They lay down right next to the bubble.
All right. This is gonna go poorly. I am going to move up. It's hard to visualize, but kind of like between Laura and Nandul.
Mhm. Yeah.
And channeling Saren Ray, I am going to cast Burning Hands
Okay.
in an attempt to cause a little bit of damage and hopefully scare them with fire.
Okay.
I don't know. Can I get both of them in a 15-foot cone?
Yeah.
Okay. Dex saves.
17 and 10.
One succeeds. Oh wait. What's
And
happening?
they both passed a attempt to be frightened.
Oh.
Or actually, make an animal handling check at it, but
Oh, good.
and also roll your damage.
Right. Oh, on the table. All right, that's a solid 5.
Yeah, they don't seem frightened. They don't seem frightened at all.
Definitely know how to handle animals. 2 is like the worst number to get on the die because it's right next to the 20. All right, damage. Did they both succeed? One succeeded, right?
One succeeded.
All right, that is a solid 8 damage of the fire variety to the one that failed, and 4 to the other one.
Okay, the fire blows past them. You see it singeing the feathers back, and their heads kind of turn away from the flame, their eyes squinting. And as you pull your hands back, you watch as both of these massive heads turn, locking eyes on you.
Cool. Then I'm going to move the rest of my movement in a direction away from the group.
Okay, so 30 feet away. Oh, wait, what's your movement? 50?
45.
45, so you move...
I had to move up a little bit. But...
You had to move up 20 feet, so you move away 25 feet.
Okay.
Okay. And next it is Eldorez's turn.
Okay, Uldorez... I think Uldorez would have immediately tried to shadow step away. If he could, if there was somewhere where there was shade underneath a tree somewhere.
Yeah, about what was the range on your cloak again?
It just says shadow step 3 times a day, recharge at dawn.
All right, I'm gonna make that if you can add on there 30 feet.
Okay.
So you poof 30 feet away.
Okay. I will say that I would have tried to either grab Ananduil or Laura, whichever one was closer to me.
Okay, so you rush from where you had been a moment prior. You run up to Ananduil. You put your arms around her, and you let the shadow poof. And as you reach the other side, there is no one in your hands.
Damn it!
I
tried. He looks up. So you said 30 feet from where I was.
Yeah.
Any chance that I am within 30 feet of these creatures still?
No, you're about 45. Or 40. Because Ananduil was 10 feet from the thing, so you would have bamfed 40 feet from where they were.
That puts a wrench in what I wanted to do. Then I should have done it the other way around. Also, using that, is that an action or a bonus action to do that?
Bonus.
Bonus action, okay. I don't know what to do. I am going to... I am going to cast, because it is within range of this, I am going to cast Hunger of Hadar.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm going to cast it in a place where they get in it and nobody else does.
Is that the circle with the tentacles?
Yes.
Okay.
Open a gateway to the dark between the stars, a region infested with unknown horrors.
Lovely.
Okay.
Let's see. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures fully within the area are blinded. Let's see. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold. Any creature that ends its turn in the area must make a DC 15. Well, it's actually 17 now because these are old stats. Dex save or take acid damage as well.
Can you hold a bonus action?
I
If
don't
the
think
DM
so.
says so.
I mean, it's just holding it. It's holding an action, but if it's like a bonus action spell, I would say I personally would say yes.
Okay.
Because it's still technically counted as an action. It's just bonus action.
Just checking. Cool. So, Eldora, you cast the spell, and you all watch as this black, inky void just spreads, covering both of these massive beasts. You see it enveloping their bodies, and their mouths open as this blackness crosses in front of them, completely blocking them from view. You hear this strange, unworldly and the muffled roars of the beasts from within. Anything else you're going to do on your turn, Eldoris? Do they take damage on its first creation, or only when their turn starts and ends?
All right, so they're considered blind.
Right.
No light whatsoever in there.
Okay.
At the start, any creature that
Yeah.
starts its turn takes cold damage,
Mhm.
and if they end their turn, they take acid damage, but they have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Right. So nothing when you cast a spell, though?
No.
Okay. So anything else on your turn?
I'm going to try and... I'm going to try and stick to the shadows a little bit, maybe try and get some distance, maybe try and head in the direction that Bernie's in, if I can see him, but I'm going to try and, I guess, stealth in the shadows.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
And I have advantage on those. You know, just a thought that hit me. When those things sat down right outside the bubble, were they within 5 feet of me?
Yeah.
I could have been doing D4 damage to them all night.
Ah.
No, you couldn't.
Not through the shield.
Not through the bubble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what'd you get on your stealth?
It's a good thing I have advantage because my first roll was a 1. Second one was natural. The second one was a 13 plus. If I can get back to my page, stealth. Don't I use? I guess it's just a straight 15. I have a 2 on my stealth. Yeah,
Okay.
15 total.
15. All right. So you duck behind a tree and crouch down as best you can, sticking to the shadows and hiding from where they might see you when they come out. Let me see something here. Okay.
And hunger is a concentration.
Okay. So Ananduil turns and begins just full sprinting 60 feet from where she currently was. It begins booking it. Laura makes it 30 feet away, kind of stops, turns her heel, and pulls out her blade and then puts it back to her side, holding the edged blade in her hand, facing the inky blackness, eyes staring toward where they had been just moments prior seen. She appears to be ready and waiting for something. As she does this, you hear from within. What was the cold damage again? 2d6?
Yeah, but I gotta check and see if it goes up with level or not.
Sure.
It doesn't look like it does.
It doesn't.
Okay, so they both take 6 cold damage. You hear from within the roars, and the ground begins to shake even harder. And all of a sudden, one of the snouts of the larger one comes protruding out of the blackness. As it does, you watch Ananduil suddenly pull her sword out through her hand, the blood christening the... Yes.
What's happening?
The blood streaking across the blade. And as she pulls her hand, the blood dripping on the ground, she puts her hand up in front of her face and makes a fist and begins to pull it down toward the ground. And you watch as the Tyrannosaurus, still partially in the inky black void, is going to roll a strength check.
What the hell?
And get a natural 20. So,
Hey!
As Laura puts her hand forward, making a fist, pulling down toward the ground, you watch as the Tyrannosaurus, its head begins to like pull toward the ground. You see like when Glaive blood puppeted the vampire, you watch it begin to come down. And then it starts to go back up, and you watch as it does on Laura's hand. Sorry, that's what I did wrong. I'm sorry. I just realized. Laura's hand begins to be forced up as she's fighting again. You see her arm straining, and the Tyrannosaurus takes a step, and her hand goes pushing back, knocking her slightly back forward, and it begins a full sprint toward her.
Oh no!
As the other one begins to come out of the void. So it is going to 24 will hit. Oh boy. Oh my. What?
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 Oh, nothing. Nothing. Just rolling forward.
I know what he just saw. Guys, calm down.
It's okay.
It's terrible.
Oh,
It's okay. I'm just rolling 4d12 damage.
that's fine.
Oh no!
Are we getting rid of Laura finally?
Oh!
Hey.
What? Was that out loud?
Yes.
Let's see here. God, that rolled forever. 18.
Hit.
Ooh. 27.
That's right, Cat. Hit him with your tail.
Stop.
34 points of damage
Oh.
to Ananduil.
Oh
Ooh.
my goodness.
Ew. Oh, wait, why not?
Or no, I'm sorry, Laura.
Oh, okay.
And you watch as the teeth clamp down around her, and she is lifted up 20 feet into the air. You hear this as she just screams. You've never heard Laura scream like a damsel in distress before, but she lets out a blood-curdling scream as she's lifted up into the air. Was anyone within 10 feet of Laura? I don't think so.
Was I?
Oh yeah, you were. As you were standing there, and Laura had run past you, Sapala, the Tyrannosaurus runs directly over top of you. You crouch down, and its feet just bound over top of you. And as it lifts Laura into the air, you look behind you and watch as its tail comes spiraling down toward you with incredible speed.
Oh no!
That'll be 28.
Is it possible that I could, change it to a bird and fly away before that happens?
Nope.
Okay.
So that'll
I didn't
be.
think so.
It'll be 19 bludgeoning damage. As you stand there, this tail just smashes into you, causing you to stumble backwards. And as you stumble backwards, you hear behind you another... And look over your shoulder as the second one comes running out of the void. That's good though. 13.
We're gonna die.
Wait, what?
13 to hit on the first one, which I don't think hits.
No, it doesn't.
It goes to bite at you, and you take a step back, and as it misses, it uses its momentum to swing its tail towards you for 18.
Yeah.
The second tail careens into you, causing you to fly back 5 feet. 1, Oh, I'm rolling bad though. 14 bludgeoning damage on the second tail smashing into you.
All right.
Okay. And as you are being pummeled back and forth like a ping pong ball between the table, we go back up to Xavier's turn.
Is that a tiny person joke?
No, that would have been a ping pong ball to anyone of any size between two massive beasts.
As I fly upwards, okay, everyone should be escaping now. I just see the thundercloud form, and I'm just like, no one can stick to a plan, can they?
There was a plan.
What's going on up there?
They're fighting it. You want to come? I'm gonna start dropping to where I'm basically 5 feet above him. I can still touch him.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna waste the 4th level slot and teleport back. Not next to them, not where we were, but maybe 15 feet away.
Okay.
From where I originally was, so there's some distance between us and the T-Rexes.
Okay, so you bamfed to 15 feet from where you were originally?
I'm giving some distance. I'm going to judge it to see how, give distance.
From 500 feet, from 500 feet away, you can't really tell where they currently are. So from what you did know...
I'll do it from 15, yeah. I'll do it from 15.
Okay, so as you grab Benedictus and bam, 15 feet from where you had been prior, you turn and just see an inky black void almost 10 feet in front of you and are confused for a moment. And as you glance over your now behind you, between the hunger of Hadar and the rest of your party, the two Tyrannosauruses, you just see the tail of both of them facing away from you. Yeah, they charge 30 feet.
Okay, and using the last 5 feet, I kind of go back, up and back 5 feet. So I'm still going up. I'm moving backwards 5 feet. So diagonal 5 feet. Okay, there you go, Bernie. And we can't cast leveled spells unless we
nope.
use a feat. So I already cast one. So...
I have 2 feet.
I have 2 feet too.
All right.
Yeah, I can't do anything else.
Okay, so that'll bring us to Elena's turn. At this point, Elena, they are now between you and Uldoris. You're kind of splitting them, hiding in the foliage. As you just watched as Benedictus and Xavier popped out of nowhere as Laura is lifted into the sky.
Okay. Do I still have shooting range on them?
Oh yeah. You're they ran kind of toward you, so they're actually closer than they were before.
Do I want to cast? No.
Is that a spell?
No.
Just casting.
Thinking.
Never heard of that magic before.
Runic language you're speaking.
What school is
magic.
that?
What school of magic? Is it
Old magic.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna cast Hunter Mark on the big one.
Okay.
It's a 13 plus 13 plus 9. 22 to hit. I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. $16 damage. Then, I totally forgot my second hit. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm gonna hit again.
All this is on the big one, right?
Yeah. That would be 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
15 damage.
Oh, that's the wrong one, actually. Minus.
Got 16 and then 15 damage.
Okay. Okie dokie dokie artichoke. So you fire your 2 arrows into it. You watch as they sink into its leathery, feather-covered hide. It kind of rears backwards, still holding a non-dual, or god dang it, I keep doing it, holding Laura in its jaws. You see as the arrows go in, its jaw clenches, and you see little bits of blood kind of spraying from the side a little bit.
And then I want to take my 35, 30 feet. Sorry, I thought I had 35. And move away from it.
Okay. Into the foliage or further south, Xavier had originally headed?
Further south.
Okay. So you head along the path that you had been originally traveling, 35 feet. Benedictus, you are looking at a dinosaur butt.
Yeah, that reminds me of a Grant and Girthy. I have horrible memories.
I don't even want to know.
Which one is Laura?
Which one is Laura, or which one's Laura in?
Which one is Laura in? I suppose.
There's one in front of you, then Sapala, then a T-Rex with Laura in its mouth, in a direct line.
Great. I'm going after the one that has Laura. Rawr. Show you what a real apex predator is.
So are you going to run? Are you going to run past the one that's in front of you now?
I think that's a terrible idea. Yes.
Okay. So you run through next to it. It's going to take an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay.
That'll be a 29.
Oh.
Sure.
Okay. Make a strength check. Strength saving throw. We'll make it. Because I feel like being nice on you running past. Let's see here. But
26.
Okay, yeah. So you're not grappled by it, but normally it's an auto grapple.
Oh, this is damage.
You take 47 piercing damage.
Holy crap.
As these teeth sink into your shoulder, you feel them enter the top of your collarbone and come out below your shoulder blade in your back and pull back out as you run past, sending blood trickling down your entire left arm as you continue running forward. You pass Sapala, who is standing up from being battered around, and come up to the aft section of the first one.
Okay. Well, we are going to go let the air out first. What the heck?
Real quick, Cal. What day is it?
Friday.
Today would be Thursday, Horisol 7.
7?
7.
Okay.
I forgot to keep track. I just had to like, okay, we spent one day here, we spent one day here.
Okay.
Actually, it might be the 8th. I think it's the 8th.
His powers fluctuate with the day of the
It's the 8th.
There's this weird time
the
flux
8th of
happening
what?
right now.
Thursday magic.
It's the 8th of what?
It is the 8th of Horisol.
Is that the first month of the year?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a way to bring in the new year. Dying.
Right.
I'm gonna do 2 claw attacks.
Okay.
Hopefully with smite on both.
Kill it.
Or else.
Trying. Oh, that's a 26 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit.
Oh, I've been reading smite wrong. It's 3d8 at second level.
Okay.
So that'll be 1d4 and 3d8. Let's go ahead and get another 3d8. That's not necessary. No, dice. How dare you betray me? Get out from the cushions. Okay. Why so many ones? 1, 2, 4, 7, 11 damage? Man, that is weak sauce.
For the first hit.
Yeah.
The next one's going to be like 45 damage.
12.
I think that's gonna hurt. That's a
Natural
20.
A nat 20?
Yes.
All right. Roll
Finally.
credits.
That's 68 and 2d4.
I thought you said 68.
Okay, so physical damage is 9. And now I'm gonna roll my radiant damage. Don't you screw me over.
Rolls all ones.
Thanks.
Don't take my stick.
So that'll be 12 for the first 3. And for the second 3, 13.
Okay. You slam your claws, both of them, into the back of its leg. You watch as this crackling, yellowish orange energy goes spiraling up its legs. You hear it howl in pain. It opens its jaws for a brief moment. You hear Laura scream in its mouth as the jaws come back down on it, coming forward, writhing in pain. Sapala, it is your turn again.
Shit.
You are currently between a rock, a hard place, and 2 sets of teeth.
When do we learn polymorph?
Pretty normal, usually.
It's a 4th level spell.
I think someone just got my Digimon reference.
I was about to ask you to repeat it. I'm like, oh, then it won't be a reference anymore.
Yeah, it would.
First episode of Digimon, they get caught between 2 monsters. They caught between a rock and 2 sets of teeth.
Uh-huh.
Digimon. It's so weird watching that. They did like a swap where they took the opening intro from like Pokemon and put it to the Digimon music, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
So, Paula, what do you want to do?
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Can you hit him with lightning?
Well, not without probably hitting myself.
I mean,
Or
there's
anybody
2.
else.
Sometimes we just have to take one for the team.
Says Elena 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Hey, I have taken plenty of hits for the team, okay?
Not all of them necessary.
What did you say, AJ?
How
I couldn't hear what you said. Sorry.
how far is the closest tree?
About 20 feet.
All right.
Summon Ent.
Trent, come on. This is D&D.
Trent.
That jerk.
Okay. So I want to sprint to the closest tree.
Okay, you might take an attack of opportunity from that.
Well, I was gonna say without being noticed.
I can't remember.
Is that possible?
I can't remember. Do you have to have the disengage action as a rogue in order disengage?
No. So
No.
you can use your action to disengage. It's just rogues and monks spending key points can use
To do
it
as a bonus. Okay, so you'd have to use your action to not get hit by it.
Self-preservation mode has to kick in somewhere. Take it from a master of self-preservation.
Yeah, but self-preservation really isn't C-Paul's thing.
Perhaps it's time to diversify.
Sapala, get away from them. We could do some damage here.
Okay, well, yeah, but then I have to wait till my next turn to do what I want to do.
It's up to you. Let me know.
I'm sure these things have enough hit points for you to do that.
Okay. I mean, I'm not really. Okay, I'm just gonna run away from them.
All right, but so you're disengaging though?
Yeah.
All right. So as you sprint away, you hear their teeth snap just inches behind you. You feel its hot breath propel you slightly forward as you run toward the tree line. Bringing us to Vale's turn. Vale, as you had run 25 feet away, you turn around looking over your shoulder, expecting to not see them as close as the one that's directly behind you with Laura clenched in its jaws.
Okay. My intent was to be away from the group so they'd follow me.
I'm aware, but you ran in a
Okay.
straight line and Laura in an unduet toward you, and then they charged after them.
God damn it. Well then.
Best laid plans.
Yeah, right. I will attempt to get the one close to me to spit out Laura
Okay.
by hitting it a lot.
Really hard. With my pinky.
Actually, this was going to come up eventually. Is this the male or the female?
Female.
Damn, no balls. All right.
They have
Is
them.
it
They're just
flanked?
inside.
Yes, Glaive is up its ass.
Great. That's what I wanted
What's
to hear.
Glaive doing here?
I'm being up its ass. That's what I'm doing.
This is how he escaped. Smuggled up the ass of a T-Rex.
Pop up like whack-a-mole.
Quote that.
So, I'm going to attack it a lot.
Okay.
Hit it really hard. Really, really hard.
That's my plan. Really hard.
Roll all natural 20s.
Wow. That was depressing. 16, the first attack.
That'll hit.
Great. I'm
So
going to make it
you're
a stunning strike.
Saying there's a chance.
That's right.
What's the DC on Stunning Strike?
Is a con save for 15.
That'll
I expect it to make it.
21.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
21.
Second attack. I'm just going to do all the attacks first and then roll damage. It's easier that way. And it makes my damage sound more impressive. A lot. 24.
It hits.
Cool. Yeah, I'll burn another stunning strike.
We're talking life and death here, man.
Yeah, but it's Lara's life and death. Another stunning strike.
Do you not like Laura, Vale? Another
You could say
21.
that. God damn it.
Come on.
Nah.
I rolled 2 17s in a row.
Stop it. Third attack.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, hits. Another Stunning Strike.
No.
Okay.
She had her chance.
Oh.
How am I rolling? There we go. That's hard.
Agreed.
Oh, God. I hate math. Why did I do this?
I hate math. Why did I pick D&D as my favorite game?
Why did I do this to
Same.
myself? Why can't all my
Why do we
attacks do the
hate
same
ourselves?
damage? It's 37 total points.
That's a
bludgeoning
good
damage.
chunk.
Yeah, with 3 attacks.
How do you want to do this?
Oh,
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. Oh, geez. All right. Well, I know what I want to do.
Punch it in the throat.
I want to be like all over that thing. I want to like run up the tail, just kind of hitting it as I go. Just get up to the head, just start smacking it with my staff, saying, "Spit that out!"
Okay, so
Not food.
Vale,
Not food.
turning around, seeing what you expected to be much further behind you, you roll your eyes, crack your knuckles, knowing you're going to have to do this yourself. You turn, sprinting directly toward it. You see it lowering its head towards you, getting ready to try and open its jaws and fit you in along with Laura, who you see now. And once again, you roll your eyes, thinking, "Why am I doing this?" As its jaws come in towards you, trying to scoop you up, you slide on the ground underneath its jaw, traveling 10 feet between its legs. As its tail comes crashing down towards you, trying to smash you, you roll to the side, seeing Benedictus, his claws still embedded in its thigh. With the same momentum of the slide, you put your hand around its tail and swing yourself up onto its aft section and begin to run up its spine. You jump into the air and bring your heel down right in the center between its shoulder blades. You hear a sickening crack. It takes a step forward, stumbling onto its knee. Getting down on the falling momentum of it going forward, you begin to pummel the back of its skull right in the soft spot. And with each punch, you feel this crunch getting softer and softer until finally you feel your fist go right into the back of its head. It lets out one final gurgle, its mouth falling open, Laura slipping out just as the jaws fall forward, snapping shut into the ground.
That was epic. I'm just going to say that. That was beautifully described. I loved every second of that.
Well, didn't mean to punch its brain. Whoops.
Thank you.
I'm so strong.
On that note, Oldora's turn.
Follow that up.
Great. Wonderful. Not what I wanted to have to follow up. Am I within 30 feet of this thing?
Of the dead one or the living one?
The living one.
No, you're still at the 45.
All right, I'm going to come out of the woods or wherever I am, so that I'm within 30 feet of this thing. I'm going to try to not affect anybody else in the group. So I'm trying to target only him. And I'm going to cast Fear. It's a 30-foot cone.
Yep.
So I will drop concentration on my Hunger of Hadar. So that black void just... And I try to take like a... My hands are shaking, and I'm looking up at this huge, in my mind, a dragon, and I don't know what I'm doing, but these are my friends. And the shadows, my shadow just kind of spreads itself out behind me, and I picture it taking on a form of its own and coming up and almost kind of doing like a venom thing, like behind me, just this large shadowy figure with like just this big gaping maw of teeth and just like snapping at him. He's got to make a DC 17 saving throw, wisdom.
That's a 3.
He is frightened. He must take the dash action and move away from me by the safest available route on every one of its turns for the next minute.
Okay. So, does everyone else see the fear effect, or does only the affected person see it?
I think only the affected person.
It's funnier if only the affected person sees it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all watch.
It is my shadow, though, so...
I'm going to go on a limb here, and just for flavor, say everyone can see it. You all watch as Eldora's shadow extends behind him, standing 10, 15, 20 feet tall behind. Its arms begin to elongate, and you see these strange Slenderman-like forearms extending into long claws, its horns protruding back and long, the eyes glowing this deep purple. Its mouth opens, and you see this gaping maw filled with endless rows of sharp, jagged, shadow-like teeth, illuminated by purple light from within. It lets forth this billowing smoke that seems to envelop the air in front of it, causing it to block out the light in the canopy above. The carnivorous creature before you snaps its jaws forward, begins to hunker down, its head just mere inches off the ground on its haunches, looking to its fallen mate, and then to this giant creature that is imposing over it. It growls deep, resigned defeat, begins to take a step backward, still keeping low to the ground. And when it's just far enough away, it turns and begins a full sprint away, going 100 feet in the other direction.
Was this the one I was next to?
Yes, it ran right past you.
Oh, nice.
Because it had to take a dash action, so it has no action.
You know, beat up a fleeting creature.
I will take the opportunity attack, but I let it get a little bit further. Then I'm going to cast Ice Knife, because I can do that now.
Okay.
Cast as a... So... I have the spell card right here. I don't need to look at the computer. Alright, so... for flavor, I'm going to cast that third level.
Okay.
Do all the damage.
Hopefully. Alright, let's see if I hit it. That's a natural 19 plus 9. I think I hit it.
I think so.
Alright, so it takes 1d10 piercing damage. It takes 7 piercing damage, and it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
18.
It succeeds.
All right, so you throw this knife at it, and you see it lodge into the haunches, running away from you. Knocking over trees as it runs into the forest.
You just see a blast of ice off its back. Well, that was a plan not followed.
Yeah.
I remember a plan.
To run.
Got to move forward. You engaged him.
My
He
parts hurt.
engaged. They attacked first. We didn't have a chance to run.
Elena, it's my fault. Sorry.
You tried. You can't help with the armor that you have to wear.
Yeah, well, she reaches down and, you see this blood pooling from her side. Yeah, well...
I cast Cure Wounds.
Fuck.
She gets...
How bad does she still look?
How much do you heal her?
Hang on, I gotta roll it. Hang on.
1 point.
Plus my spellcasting ability, which is
3.
It's 4.
hang on, sorry.
9.
Nope, 4.
10
10 points?
10 points.
She still doesn't look great, but she looks better than she did before. She's still there's still major punctures in there. The bleeding has stopped, but you see her armor is completely dented in, and you do see a thin trickle still coming out of her.
Hey, Bernie, how are you?
I cast Aura Vitality and start healing myself and Laura.
How much does Aura Vitality heal?
2d6 per bonus round per action,
Hey,
or
with this
per
cleric.
bonus action per round.
Well, sorry, you're a paladin. With this particular person, we don't have to worry about our souls being taken.
Hey,
I'm sorry, what?
Apparently, our friend Glaive had a. And every time he heals someone, they have a claim on their soul.
dude.
So we're gonna kill him then, right?
What?
Dude, Elena,
What?
He is
how was that
selling your
even
soul.
all right for you to say?
Because I don't have a soul and I'm kind of angry.
So
Okay,
we're
yeah, but
going
that
to
was a
kill
cheap
him
shot.
then, right?
No, we're not.
If he sells your souls to demons, then he is in league with
You
demons.
touch him and you're dead.
Alright.
Alright, let's get out of here then.
It's a great
Okay,
segue.
yeah. Casually bring that up and then just. Okay, never mind.
I'm gonna reach my hand towards the Hippolyta. Emotion, if she wants to get on my back.
No, I'll walk by myself, thank you.
Cal, I'm gonna just do a bunch of rolls for me and Laura. I will message you what Laura gets back.
Okay. All right. So,
I have some temporary replacement armor if Laura needs it.
what kind of armor is it?
I assume it's plate. It is the Whitestone Pale Guard armor.
Okay. As you all begin walking away, Laura begins stripping off her armor that is dented, is kind of tossing it aside, leaving just.
Throw it away.
All right, you can
You're
collect it.
behind her, picking it up and putting it in your bag.
I'm not a hoarder. You're a hoarder.
Vale is a hoarder.
Yeah.
I'm not playing
Little
Skyrim.
has worth.
As she's walking and she's ripping off pieces of armor, she
Right.
leaves on her shin armor and her gauntlets, but she takes off her greaves and the chest piece and her gambeson and everything else that she had on, and the pauldrons that were making all the noise, tossing them behind you. So you have a mostly complete set of very badly damaged stalwart watch armor.
Sweet.
With no helmet though, but
That's fine.
she didn't wear one. So you see beneath, she was wearing a very simple, like dark gray tunic that is punctured and is dark crimson on one entire side as she's walking, and you can tell she looks pissed as she's walking. But anyway, trying to remember, was there a reason you were asking about that? Oh, right, you're going to offer her. You go to offer her a replacement set, and she just kind of pushes you off and just walks a little further beyond.
Fine.
Man, she is getting a lot of health from me.
So wait, I have 2 sets of armor.
How much do you heal her?
42.
Wow.
Okay. You see as all the wounds that were on her, bleeding stops and seem to close. The clothing's still wet and the hole's still there, but she looks completely healed now.
So, if we're continuing on, I'm going to have Beak do constant circles around us to peer through the canopy. I'm not going to be in his eyes all the time, but I'll glance in every minute or so.
All right. Make a perception check on that, and who wants continuing southward?
Me.
Okay. Tapala, check.
That is
Why did I set myself in this? Okay. As you fly, are you going completely over the canopy?
Yeah.
All right. So losing track of the party below as Beak, you fly up above. Beak's eyes, you see deep in the woods, the rustling of tree leaves everywhere. There appear to be large things moving in the trees constantly in this area. You see massive cliff faces and huge rivers that sprawl in either direction. And the path that you're on is a very straight line that is next to a river That's directly due. Gotta check my map and pay attention to things. Directly due east of you, that you're following southward continually, just off the path that you're on.
I relay that. Every time I go in there, relay any points of interests that I see to the group.
Okay.
Do we actually know exactly where we're going?
Well, we were told it's south.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on a straight path. You were told just follow this road south.
All right. Cool.
And you know that it lies, that the village from your vision, you know it lies at the base of a massive cliff. And one thing you do notice, Xavier, actually, is you do see the edge of the jungle from Beak's perspective. And you just see this giant cliff face rising to the south that seems to extend endlessly across the horizon. A barren, broken, jagged landscape past it. That the rainforest just comes up against at the base and ends abruptly.
So the forest meets it, or it goes into a clearing a little bit, and
no clearing. Like the trees are right up against the edge of the cliff. You're such a
cliff. I have no
cliff.
idea why I was thinking it was a mountain rising. That
it is a mount. It is a mountain from your perspective. The perspective on being on top, it's cliffs. You're at the bottom of the cliffs. You're such a nerd, Xavier, that you know these.
I had a brain fart in real life.
Yeah, you're such a nerd, Xavier, that I don't even roll. That you know this to be the Baines Fall Plateaus.
Wow. I'm just wondering if potentially it's worth a scry call to the village.
Might be.
I got a 20, by the way.
Okay, perfect.
Did I see how the road continued, or was it too buried beneath the canopy?
It is completely buried beneath the canopy.
All right.
Vale, you're scrying?
I was thinking about it. I forgot the things I intended to ask like 3 weeks ago.
I think we were going to tell him we were on our way.
Yep.
And that I was with you and not to be alarmed.
Probably. We don't have an armed escort, so that's a plus.
It's not too early in the morning, right? They're not in morning.
I have no idea.
I would just assume at any point they are always in meditation.
I assume it every time it's a bad time. So.
Yeah.
So you might as well call them up and scream in their ear whenever they answer.
Basically. What time is it now?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, I have called it this time, I think. I did one at night. Did one in the afternoon, I think.
You've done one late at night. You've done one early in the morning, and I think you did do one afternoon.
I've really been trying.
Yeah. Yep. You've been trying.
I need to collect my thoughts before I do that.
Okay, so you walk for about an hour, continuing southward. Sapala leading you along the path, keeping an eye out. At one point, the ground begins to shake again, and Sapala very quickly pulls everyone. I assume you would like to. What would you like to do when you feel the ground shake?
I don't know. Point it out to everybody.
Okay. You point out to. Okay. Is stealth going to be what your guys are going to try and do? You're going to stand and fight whatever is making.
Yeah, stealth is good.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Laura will be stealthier.
23.
Let's go.
Uldoris will go to the shadows and walk in the shadows.
Okay. Everyone roll your stealth checks.
Of course, if we're under a canopy, I'm assuming they're everywhere.
Oh yeah, you're in Shadowland.
I got a 23.
Does that mean there's an advantage on stealth?
For me.
For him.
Oh.
Oh.
19 for me.
If we were in a forest right now and not a jungle.
I'm gonna be up, fly up and stay around the branches.
You're doing a stealth check up there?
Yeah.
Okay, roll it.
Everything up in the canopy sees you.
I got a strong 16.
That's 28.
28.
Oh.
Plus 9.
Got a 23.
Xavier, as you fly up into the canopy, you rather maybe dog-sized monkey sitting on the top of one of the branches. As you fly up next to it, you kind of make a motion with your mouth, and it imitates back toward you. And as it lifts its arms, you see a pair of wings attached to its arms. All right, what did everyone get on stealth checks?
Just
I got
abruptly leave it at that.
Yep.
I got a 13.
Okay.
I like how you sound sad about it. I got a 6.
One day I'll have Pass Without a Trace, guys.
I'm not sad. I'm irritated.
I got a 16.
23.
I rolled a 2.
19 for Oldoris.
Wow, George. Wow.
And Xavier?
Worst number ever.
28.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of you passed. So
Alright.
as you are all moved to the side of the road and crouched down real low, Xavier flying up next to this monkey and telling it shh, and it mimics you and kind of stares at you, its head cocked to the side. Through the brush and stomping, another large, scaly beast comes out. This one on all fours, walking forward, a long snout giving way to two large ears going back. And as it steps into the clearing, you see rows and rows and rows of plates standing at 70-degree angles along its back. And as it walks forward, it passes overhead, its large tail swinging over the brush that you are hiding under, and you see massive spikes attached to its tail. And then another, and then another, and then 5 of these beasts cross the road that you had been going across and continue into the brush, heading eastward.
That was a wise decision. It was a very wise decision.
I'm gonna quickly look in the beak's eyes. Do they see anything else important other than cliff face?
No, from up above, you're just much closer to the cliff than you had been a little bit before. You just see the massive plateaus and cracked landscape ahead in that direction.
Okay.
If we can, I know we just got up a little while ago, but I wouldn't mind resting for a while somewhere. I feel if we get stuck in a situation that's a little dicey, I'm not going to be much help.
Yeah,
Probably no problem.
we can
Sure.
take a little break.
You could take a break and I can scribe.
Xavier, as you come back to yourself, you look down and you see that strange monkey creature has its hand in your coat and is trying to reach for stuff.
Naturally.
I teleport away from it.
As Xavier teleports back down through the trees, just and you all kind of look up.
And it sounds like that.
And you all look up and see this monkey-like creature flying across the canopy, flapping its arms wildly, and heads into another branch.
Does it have a strange cap on its head?
You cannot tell.
Does it have a tie on by chance?
No, but it's got
Did it
Xavier's
leave?
underwear.
Why do you keep
Did
your
it
underwear
leave?
in your coat, Puck?
It's
All
that
right,
stealthy.
so you all make camp.
No.
Yes.
Did the monkey leave?
It went into a tree, into another canopy of trees higher up.
If Kayla doesn't make her quota of making a friend this week.
And it's probably about 80 feet up in the air at the moment.
Hell, She
can
might
do that.
actually lose a friend this week.
Said you were a friend.
He was
Who's
talking
that,
about
Paula?
himself.
Was that also Paula, or were you going to do something?
Are we resting? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, looks like we're making a little camp.
Just a short.
Okay. See, Paula wants to sit as far away as possible from Elena and Bernie.
Do you wanna scry and frog people with me?
Sure.
I'm gonna throw up the hut. It doesn't take too long.
All right. What was the DC on that scry?
Oh God.
Takes so long.
I
17,
want
I
to
think?
say 17 for the item.
Okay. It failed.
It's so far away.
So, as the two of you stand outside the protective shield
Oh no, that means he's dead.
and cast scry, your vision once
Wait,
again.
wait. I believe the DC is modified because I'm more familiar with him now.
It's okay.
Right.
He failed.
Oh, I thought you meant the scry failed.
No.
My
So
bad.
as the two of you focus on the scry ball, and your vision once again shifts up through the canopy of trees, momentarily pausing on a very scared-looking monkey. You're used to your vision shifting thousands of miles in a brief second, flying over landscapes, but this time, it almost pans as the vision goes up into the sky above. It just tilts slightly to the base of those cliffs that Xavier had mentioned to you, and very slowly pans downward in through the tree leaves. And you see you're actually very close to the village now, maybe only a couple hours away. You see this massive, sprawling templescape. You've seen the huts, you've seen the regular houses that these people live in, but now you see through the trees, much like before, as you were approaching the capital of Hanyosai, you see the ruins of a past civilization, these large marble statues and structures. However, these ones seem well kept. As opposed to the crumbling ruins you saw before, these ones appear to have been maintained and even show scaffolding made of bamboo attached in the process of repairs and maintenance being continued on this temple to this day. As your vision goes into the temple, it passes through a side wing into a large open garden in which you see his name must pull up. Name. I have the wrong book open. Masuta. You see Masuta. He appears to be walking through the garden. You see a large pond with these orange and yellow fish swimming around, tossing what appear to be a handful of small grubs into the water. There's four walls to this garden as it's enclosed inside the temple, but these large bushes and sprawling trees are erected in this inner courtyard of a garden as he's feeding his fish.
Good, he doesn't look busy. Oh God. Hello, Chief? Look, you didn't tell me a good time to call back.
You watch him sigh and set down the sack of grub. I do not. This is a true spirit.
So, we are getting close. We should be here within the day. Or there within the day.
My heart leaps with a bound to see.
Was that sarcasm?
You are beginning to understand. Have you prepared yourself?
More or less. We've got our company. What are there? There's 8 of us? Yeah, 8.
They are your companions.
Yes.
I trust your meeting with my son went well.
Well, there's still 8 of us, so it certainly could have gone worse.
He picks back up the sack of grubs and begins tossing some more into the water, sets it back down, and begins walking back into the temple. You watch as the vision kind of blurs around, and you see other people around him, but you can't make out their features because the vision is only focused on him. He bows to someone in the hallway and continues walking, entering that familiar that inner temple that you're used to seeing him in. What is it that you wish when you arrive?
Well, there's obviously some things we should discuss.
Yes, Ali.
It is my hope that ideally we can come to some sort of agreement, arrangement, treaty between your people and the people under your son's rule. I'd like to discuss some options of how we could make that happen.
We will talk about that when you arrive, then.
Yes. I expect that to be more in depth than a telepathic scry.
Indeed.
Is there anything we should expect to look forward to the entrance-wise?
You should be ready for a trial once you meet me.
Okay. What kind of trial?
That will be arranged when you... But I know of what you seek.
Mm-hmm.
I must make sure you are worthy before I permit your entrance.
Very well. And of my companions? Is that hinged on whether or not I succeed?
They will not be tried. You are the spirit, are you?
Very well. We should be there within several hours.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hi.
Sorry, my friend called me while I was here.
I can't believe it. The chief hung up on me.
Oh, it was for his friend. Don't take it so personally.
What I missed? I said that you are the spirit, are you not?
Oh, yeah?
This is your chance. You can fix what you said wrong.
What did I say wrong?
You didn't say anything wrong.
Or did you?
Quick, think.
Wait, okay, so the last thing that was said was...
You said, are my friends going to be tried? And he said, they will not be tried. You are the spirit, are you not?
I'm the one who's been talking to you.
Go. I will see you when you arrive.
Very well.
And he hangs up.
Sweet.
Quick.
No.
What did I
All
say wrong? What did I do?
Are we taking a break tonight, or would you like to just call it there? I do have work tomorrow.
Yeah, Vale and Xavier.
I don't need sleep.
Say in the morning.
Give me the point of exhaustion. I can take it.
I mean, I would say I would take it normally, but I also have to see Avengers at 11. So
That's fair. You want to be
11
awake for that.
11 p.m.
Make sure you go to the bathroom beforehand.
Or bring a bottle.
All right, so I guess we're calling. Yep.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Why?
Okay.
Why? Because you decided to drop the glaive bomb in front of the paladin?
See you next week.
Yeah, that was... You don't get to be disappointed in me.
You don't get to be disappointed in any of us ever again.
For real.
We're gonna call it there then.
Yes.
Yeah, before we go full.
All right.
You
right.
Sign us off.
All right.
Good night.
I'll see you guys. Have a good week.